So we have the building active now. This blue line around it tells us that it's active. We press Control C and Control V, and we've created a copy of it. Why have we created a copy of it? Because we have several buildings here that are identical, at least as far as we're concerned. So let's just take that copy and move it over, place it in the right place. Now we could, of course, just press Control V and create more of these, but let's wait with that. Let's just for the moment, say that we're happy and press save up here. Save all edits, yes. So that's now saved. We can even save our project if we want. So that was actually saving the data. So let's just save the project as well. So it's not hugely important at the moment to save the project. We've got our data saved at least. So the project file would have read in the data file, and this data would have been in it. Regardless. But what we have now is a slight mess because we have some objects here that are all under the same class, I hope. Or did I actually, was I too clever? Yes, I was too clever. I skipped ahead and did building. So you, if you noticed in the when creating the woodland shape, I changed its type to woodland. If you didn't, and you still have woodland, if you didn't change after doing the woodland, and you then did the buildings under the same thing, under woodland, you can now, if you like, go in here and just change them. So we can change that to building, or how about multi-residence, something like that. And we can change that to multi-residence because it's the same type. Multi-residence, just as a type of thing. So that's kind of a mechanical way of going through this and all the errors we've made. But we've now done that. We can save those changes. Save our edits, yes. But we have these different types. These are all blue. So good. We may want to be able to differentiate them. So let's just go to the Symbology and do that. So if we right click on land cover, we go to Symbology, and it says single symbol. That's why everything's blue. Instead of single symbol, let's have unique values, and instead of shape length, we'll go type. And it's given us two different colors. Let's just for a second, let's clear that selection so that we can see those more clearly. And we have two different, well, we actually have three different symbols. We've got this all other values. So if we enter an object that doesn't have a type, then it will get this grey symbol. Anything that's called multi-residence or building, whichever you've chosen to use, will get this green type, and anything that's woodland will get this pink type. Buildings, well, maybe they're green, but woodland tends not to be pink. So let's first of all, let's just change that symbol. So we click on that, and we go to properties there. And for me, I don't really like having a line around woodland. I don't think it's right. The colour should definitely not be pink. Let's change that to something more woodlandy. Something, say, green. Is that a nice green? Is that a good colour for it? No, it's a matter of taste. You choose whichever you want. And I've got no border around it, but it sort of just ends where it ends. So if we now go back, we can do the same thing for our building. For buildings, maybe it would be better to have a line defining the outer edge. We can change this as well. We can to in whichever manner we want. We can go to colour. We can give this fill a different colour here. And the choice is more or less up to you. You might want to follow some cartographic norms. Generally speaking, that would be a good idea, simply because people need to understand your map. But you're going to be putting in a legend anyway, so maybe it's not hugely important. I would do green for vegetation. certainly, but which other colours you use is kind of blue for water, green for vegetation, and then otherwise things start to get a little bit more flexible. But don't get too inventive, I would say. Just think of the reader of the map. They have to understand it as well. So we've now got different colours for our different objects. So now our map looks at something like this. We can scroll out to look around. So we've got 2 buildings, and we can continue creating more of those buildings. We can go back to create there. We can click on that and select that one there, and we're going to create a new multi-residence. That's selected. We press Control C, Control V, and we get this again, and we can now move that over and place it about there. And then we can do the same thing again and place that about there. Okay, so I think I'm happy with that. Let's press save, save the edits. Yes, clear my selection. Good. So now I have those buildings in place, and you will continue mapping buildings